Despite being one of the most famous supermodels, Kendall Jenner is the black sheep of the Kardashian clan. She just can't escape the pressure of her family to be more like them. Kendall is tired of hearing that she shouldn't be so shy and private, and even that she's not curvy enough to keep up with the Kardashians. But worst of all, she's pressured to have kids to continue the family legacy. Kendall's own mother is the reason the media has developed a new obsession with the model. They want to know when she'll retire and have a baby. And it's all because Kris really wants another grandchild.
I think it would be nice if it was Kendall, right? You think she's the only one who hasn't had a baby?
But Kendall is not ready. She's also not married, and she's explained this to her mom many times.
She will just randomly text Mom and Kylie, but she'll just randomly text me and be like, I think it's time. And I'm like, is this not up to me?
Maybe it's time to, have a baby.
But guess what, Mom?
What?
It's my life, okay?
Really? Are you sure it's your life?
And Kris didn't stop there. She suggested Kenny should freeze her eggs, and the sooner the better. At 27, Kenny wants to make the most of her career as it made her valuable on her own. But that wasn't an easy journey. Kendall broke onto the modeling scene when she was just 14. Despite this, haters blamed the teen for using her momager Kris's connections to get into the industry. They called her success a handout. But they were wrong.
I definitely worked my way to where I am now. I think it's just a perception that people have that I just was like, give it to me.
Kendall paid a high price for the chance to work in fashion. She gave up her dreams of being an Olympian like her dad.
Going to the Olympics for horseback riding.
Wow.
That was always my dream,
right.
Horseback riding.
She also put her relationship with her family in jeopardy. To become more anonymous, Kendall changed her business cards. She dropped her surname so that when casting agents saw her application, they didn't know that she was that Kendall. She was also worried her family would be recognized if they showed up to support her. To prevent that, Kenny forced them to stay away.
She actually wouldn't allow us as a family to go to any of the fashion shows.
But even without the Kardashians at the shows, Kendall couldn't escape her family's reputation, because her life in front of the cameras has emphasized one of Kenny's biggest insecurities. But she doesn't look like her sisters.
Watch out, skinny bitch.
Jenner admitted, "My sisters are a lot curvier than me. Growing up being this little twiggy girl, I saw my sisters and always felt like I didn't fit in." Kim, Kourtney, Khloe, Kylie, and their mom have all made headlines over the years because of their love of cosmetic procedures. Only Kendall has never changed her face and body. Ironically, now her siblings look more and more alike, and it makes Kenny feel alienated. It's not that she's not been tempted to join them and make changes. As a teenager, Kendall suffered from severe acne and hated the way her face looked. She had a habit of hiding behind her hands when speaking and developed very low self-esteem. But modeling gave her the confidence to overcome this. And that confidence made the media believe that Kendall did go under the knife, just never admitted it. As the model told The Telegraph, "It's all so exhausting. As a model, why would I have my face reconstructed? It doesn't even make sense. It's crazy because sometimes I feel like people just want me to lose." And every time Kendall tried to dispel rumors, it would force her back into her shell. She's also incredibly shy. The model admits that she's the introvert of the family, and definitely the most private. It's the reason Kenny had the least screen time throughout 20 seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and the only one not to get a spin-off show. But still, Jenner's modeling career is keeping her in the spotlight, and this is posing major challenges to her need for privacy. It's also a huge threat to her safety. Kendall is constantly hounded by paparazzi, and she's even had stalkers break into her home. It was the most terrified she'd ever been in her life. Now she's developed the habit of borrowing friends' cars to avoid paparazzi, or using an alias to go out anonymously. Kendall's privacy is also the reason that she's never been involved in the types of scandals her family's become notorious for. Her sisters regularly make headlines for cheating, failed relationships, and leaked nudes. But Kendall has been totally free from that sort of drama, although it doesn't mean her life is perfect. In fact, for Kendall, every day is a struggle, because the external pressures she faces, combined with her own desire to be independent, took its toll. Sometimes her anxiety gets so bad, she wishes she could give up her career and her fame, and her family isn't giving her the support she needs to cope. They're making it worse by adding to the stress.
I've had times where I feel like I need to be rushed to the hospital because I think that like my heart's failing and I can't breathe and I need like someone to like help me.
3 years ago, Kendall hit rock bottom. She was overworked and exhausted. The model couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, and couldn't imagine getting on a plane to go to work.
So I've like literally gone to doctors because that's how bad it gets for me, to where I'm like, something's literally wrong.
She was diagnosed with anxiety and depression. It was so debilitating that she was having near constant panic attacks. When she told her family about her feelings, they didn't understand. Eventually, her nerves and loneliness were so bad she didn't work for a few months, for fear that she'd have a mental breakdown. Instead, Kendall decided to make some changes. With the help of a therapist, she chose to embrace who she was as a person, no matter what her family or critics said.
I came to a point probably like 3 years ago where I was like, I really just want to do things that make me really happy.
She also learned to communicate her feelings better and set boundaries with her mum and siblings and slow down at work. All of this has helped her to no longer feel so overwhelmed. Kendall has actually come full circle by returning to her first love of horse riding. She recently admitted that giving up the sport was the worst mistake she ever made. But the most significant change Kendall has made is with regard to her family. Now she doesn't feel like she needs to become a clone of her sisters or live up to their expectations. Instead, she's not just accepting her differences, she's embracing them. I feel like I have a different vibe to everyone. That's okay. It just goes to show you sometimes the apple does fall far from the tree, and that's not always a bad thing. You don't have to live up to the expectations of your family or anyone else. Choose your own path.